so, so, so excited. In each one of those enrollments, I know sometimes we think PIBs and sometimes we think, like increase in cycles, but that's a new life. That just said thank you to Isagenix, right? That's a new life who's invested in their health. It's going to do their glow up, a 7-day reset. But it's also a new opportunity to bring in a new builder. And I know sometimes we go after these influential people and leaders, and you're like, oh my gosh, I want a skilled person and I want someone who's seasoned and I want someone to run with. But I was talking to my girl right now that I'm building really closely with in the UK. And I said, you know what? I just really still want people who have confidence in burning desire. Because if I look at the top earners from my class when I joined Isagenix, none of us had been in network marketing before. None of us had a skill set. None of us knew how to lead a team, had ever been in sales, had ever done anything with social media, right? It was just the excitement and the enthusiasm, the belief, but it was the desire, and if you look at my post, which I hijacked and tweaked, thank you, Adrian McGovern. I loved it and was like, okay, I totally am gonna, piggyback and make that. But it's so true, right? And those people, and I just remember when Janie had said to me, is what you want to be doing right now, is what you're doing, is this what you want to be doing in 5 to 10 years? And I was like, no. And like, that's all it took for me to be like, well, if I don't want to be doing that, what are my other options? And so I'm sharing that with you because we're going to talk a lot about connecting. But I want you guys just to like get clear on the people that are out there, right? And the people that are ready, like the people that went to work today, PO'd, set an alarm, right? They were already irritated. They sat in traffic. They worked with people they didn't choose who they wanted to work with. They're not making the money that they want to be making, sat in traffic on the way home. And the first day of their week is like, man, right? Like find those people who are like desperately going, there's got to be another way, right? And if you can relate to that, and you were so skeptic that you did not know that network marketing could do this, right? If you were so skeptic, like, is it really possible I can make money? Is it really possible to have fun, not feel like a sleazy old car salesman, that type of thing? Put a 1 in the chat, because I know I was that person. And then I saw this beautiful woman who had this amazing life and she just made it so eloquent. And I thought, man, okay, she makes it look so easy. Like, and if she can do it, I can do it. And then I started watching all these people come to fruition. And so tonight, you guys, we're going back to the basics, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about connecting. And then I'm going to leave you with 3 simple steps to really get out of your comfort zone. So I was messaging my thread. I've got a thread of just my leaders and my builders last week because I was so fired up. I'd gone to a networking event. I just met some really, really, really great people. And I was voice memoing them about it, about how important it is to go to events, how important it is to be out networking. And what I really wanted to highlight is people like Holly, people like Anne, people like Erica, people like Kim Malmstrom, Laura Lori, myself, Jessica, that we are not new to this. And we are still enrolling a lot of people. And the reason I'm highlighting that is not like, okay, we're really cool and we're really good at this, and you apparently are not that good at this. That is not what I'm saying. What I'm telling you is that there are people everywhere, because most people would say, okay, I've contacted all my friends, I've contacted all my family, no one wants to buy the collagen, and I'm not very good at this, right? If you've ever told yourself that, be real, right? Put an X in the chat, because it's like, I'm not doing that anymore, right? I'm Xing that story in my head. But if you've done it and you've said like, okay, I've literally everybody I know I've talked to about Isagenix and they don't want to do this and no one's coming to my parties, I'm highlighting the people that are still enrolling to validate that there is an infinite amount of people out there. Like, we could not talk to everybody if we possibly tried. And that shows you how many people that are out there. So when we think about where do we find them? Where do we find these people? The first thing I want to tell you, and for anyone who's really great at like taking notes and wants to put some things in the chat, I totally invite that, because I can't do the notes and talk at the same time. But you have to do what's authentic to you. So there are some people on both of our teams that are absolutely phenomenal. When I say phenomenal, phenomenal at reaching out through social media. Jessica Rigner is one of them. Erica Rothenberger is one of them. Emily Sutherland is one of them. That is their jam, right? They've got some great verbiage that they either do voice memo or they text, and they can get it offline. In their profiles, really have branded themselves that when people look at them, they're like, okay, I don't really know what they're up to, but I want to be a part of. And that works really well. And if that works for you, then that works for you. And then think about where you find these people. What Facebook groups, what hashtags, what networking groups, like where are you going to have more leads than time. And where do you generate these lists from? And I'll give you some ideas. Now, the other, if you're more like me, and I will do that because I think that's a part of this, right? And it's doing the mundane and it's being consistent. And I'll say, you know what? I'm going to send out my 30 messages today. I know a lot of people are not going to respond. And I do that because you know what? Who knows if I'm going to connect with the next Laura Lori? Who knows if I'm going to connect with the next Kathy Durnick? Who knows if I'm going to connect with the next Colleen, right? Like you just don't know who's out there. And I want to do it because there's people that I can meet in South Dakota, in Oklahoma, in London that I cannot meet in Denver. But I personally love to meet people in person. My energy, my excitement, my enthusiasm, my way to love on people and reel them in and make them feel so good about themselves, I do better in person. So I'm out and about, and Laura's like that too. You know, some people look at our schedules and are like, oh my gosh, how are they at so many networking events? Like I have a lease and I'm constantly over the miles on my car because I drive all over to these things because I want to walk into a room and just like naturally, energetically see who I align with, right? And see who I'm kind of vibing with and figure out people's pain points and get excited about what we have. There is no right and there is no wrong. And if you want to build a massive business, you really should be doing both of them. Like in all honesty, you should be building both of them. So if we go to the online connecting, right in the chat right now, just start to put in all of the adjectives of the people you really want to build a business with. You've heard Jessica and I say this before, that we basically enrolled everybody with a heartbeat and a pulse. Like we could recruit and enroll like nobody's business. Both of us enrolled 100 people in like 3 months when we first started without even coming close to pre-qualifying them or figuring out if they had a skill set. Like 30-day pace setter pack, value pack, 9-day healthy lifestyle, you're on a 30-day. You know, we were just getting people on these nutritional systems where to put on your recruiter hat and say, you know, like I am the team captain and I'm going to put the freaking best team together. Who are the people that you're looking for? And so look at these characteristics, you guys: high money blueprint, go-getter, rock stars, confident, self-motivated, driven, competitive, and thinking, where do I find these people? So if I have to be completely honest, and please forgive me, sometimes when you're recruiting on social media, it's a little judgmental. Right? We're looking for people who have a certain look. You're looking for people in a certain industry. And I get that. But one of the things that you can tell right away, if you actually go to their wall on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is, you can see if they're genuine by what they're posting about and how people are engaging with them. And right away, I can look at a barometer of this meter of negativity to positivity. And one of my non-negotiables is working with positive people. Like, I don't have time for negative Nancy's. I don't have time for complainers. And I'm not saying we all didn't start from a place and have benefited from personal growth, but I mean the people that want to go out of their way just to complain or bitch. Like, that is not my person, right? That is not going to do anything positive for either of our teams. I'm like, no, next. So I sometimes looked at a girl, but like, ooh, she's fit. She's got a lot of followers. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, for a month, all she's done is complain about everything. It's like, next. To the opposite, I've looked at someone's page that only have like a couple hundred followers, but each one of her posts, a couple hundred people are commenting on it. I'm like, this is genuine engagement and people are excited and they're following her and she's adding value. And I'm interested in how someone could have so much engagement that doesn't have a big following, and that draws me in. Right. And so when you're getting really clear of like where you're looking for people, you have to know those avatars. Looking for people who are healthy. It doesn't mean that they can't have a transformation. I had a major transformation, but you want people to at least have the desire to want to be healthy, right? So if I look at someone's page and they're like running around with Cheetos and Mountain Dew, like, these are not the people that care if things are organic. These are not the people that really care if it's grass-fed. So why am I going to spend time exhausting energy trying to convince something? I want to find people who already speak that way. Maybe it's other health coaches, maybe it's other wellness coaches, maybe it's other personal trainers, but people who are aligned, that we can bring up the opportunity and say, are you open to something that would go alongside your unique brand proposition? You know, to diversify your income, that you can do what you do well, which is help people, but be able to have passive income in between clients. Be able to have an additional source of revenue on the weeks off, during the holidays, when you're traveling. You know, these things that you keep your option open to. And I know I went right into like a line there, but those conversations happen when you're clear on the people you want to work with. So I used to joke about this, right? And I joke, but I'm being serious. I can't join moms groups on Facebook, right? Like Emily Sutherland just had this amazing party on Saturday morning. She did Mamas and Mimosas. She had about 15 people there, a really cute event. And a lot of it was from these local moms groups. She just moved. She's in a new neighborhood. She's taken an interest to get to know them, right? To kind of like ask questions about their business. And then she reached out to them and she said, I'm having this cute little gathering. I want to share what I'm up to, the business that I love so much, but I want to get to know other moms. I want to know how I can support you. I want you to have a chance to talk about what you do. And she built all these genuine relationships. And she had an amazing collagen party at her house on Saturday morning. Now, if I go into these moms groups, like right away, people know I'm a phony. Like, I don't have a 2-year-old. I don't have a newborn right now. Like I don't have these little things. And then they're like, so she's in here to sell us some stuff, right? Like, I get that. So I'm not in these little moms groups. But when I think about when you can add value and can ask questions, the people that you align with, you guys, I'm in a bonus mom group. I'm actually in a couple. And I would have never thought about it until Jessica talked about she got into a Facebook group for foster moms. And I have to stay clear of some negativity because those groups have a lot of places that people just want to bitch. I'm well aware of it. But I also look for the people that celebrate the wins. There was just recently a woman that was saying something that I aligned with so much, but she posted in there how she never thought she would date someone who had been married before and had kids because she had come from a divorced family, how hard that was, but how one of the greatest gifts is her relationship with her bonus daughter. And it was a picture of them and what they were out doing. And I wrote her right away. And I said, I'm so glad you posted in here. I said, I feel the same way. When I have my online profile, I literally said, I'll never date someone who had ever been married or who had kids. And I love like what I get to do with my stepdaughter. And I'm learning as much from her as I'm sure she's from me. And I put a couple pictures in, right? You guys, I did end up enrolling this girl, and that was not like directly in there, like boom, boom, hey, here's a cart. But where else would I have found her? But I'm in a page that there is common ground. There's like interest. It is a genuine conversation. So then when you start talking about things that you're interested in or where you work or, how long you've been with your significant other and you end up friending each other and they see your post, you've built a relationship. So one of the challenges I want to encourage you guys to do tonight, and if you have an accountability partner, or you're in a thread where you guys are staying in touch with each other, reach out when you've done it. I want you to join 3 new Facebook groups, 3 Facebook groups that you really think your avatar is in. So another one that I'm in, you guys, I'm in a French Bulldog group. Like, come on. You guys know I'm obsessed with Joey. It does not take long for people to realize, like, I freaking love my dog. But here's what I know. French Bulldog's kind of a little bougie dog. Like, the people who can buy a French Bulldog can probably also buy the collagen. If they have a French Bulldog, they also probably care what they look like, right? Like, I know this. And so I'm in there. So I just found the coolest thing ever. Wait until I show you these pictures from Saturday. Denver has a Frenchie meetup. All these people want to bring their dogs together and let them run around and snort and do all the crazy things. I'm so excited to go meet some of these people there, to actually meet them in person and then figure out what they do. And of course, be super excited about what I do. But when you're in there, I don't join the group, friend the people, and be like, hey, watch this video and here's this cart, right? Like I add value. And I want you to think about being a go-giver, like give before you ever ask. So people might ask in there, hey, I'm looking for a vet. Do you know one that works with French Bulldogs? Or, hey, I don't want to board my dog. Do you know anyone who could watch my dog? Or, like whatever the questions that come up, and I make recommendations, or I'll send links, or I'll talk about things, or, I'll post funny pictures, and then I friend them. And then we start talking about things. I'm like, how long have you had your dog? And how long have you lived in Denver? What do you do? And guess what? The boomerang comes back. How long have you had your dog? What part of Denver do you live in? What do you do? And then this conversation comes up. But if you're really qualifying people and you're bringing people in for the long haul, I want you to think about this as the long game. And I know sometimes it's so quick. Oh, I posted, someone reached out, we send a link and you get the enrollment. But this gives you time to really answer those questions. Is this someone I want to travel with? Is this someone I want to be on Zooms with? Is this someone I want to share a hotel room with? And you're picking your dream team and figuring out, like, you know right away if you start talking to someone like, maybe this is not someone I want to go to Tulum with, right? This is not someone I want to pile in our room to NYKO. And that's okay. That gives you the choice. That's one of the reasons that we're in this. So in addition to finding 3 new Facebook groups, right? Join makeup groups, join fitness groups, join Peloton groups, join boutique groups, join makeup groups, join something that gets you excited that you can like build relationships with. I want you to follow 5 new people on Instagram. And here's how I do it. And there, again, there's no right, there's no wrong. I just want to give you some few tips. I will search a hashtag, okay, of something that I think aligns with what we do. So I'll type in entrepreneur. I will type in makeup artist. I'll type in esthetician or something. And then I filter it by accounts or tags. Okay, well, the first thing that pops up always, or the first 12, whatever you can see in your screen, is like the people that have 50 million followers. Right? It's like celebrities. Half the time it's not like in English. Like that's not my people, right? Like I'm not going to try and reach out to the celebrity who is just on Vogue magazine from New York City. Okay, that's not my MO. But I click on some of the photos, then I start going through the people that have liked those photos, right? Because now I'm starting to get into like the mainstream class here. Okay. So I search makeup artist, I find a tag. This person has 25 million followers or whatever. I find a cool post, something that draws my attention, because if it drew my attention, drew somebody else's attention. And then I look at the people that liked it. And then I start looking at those profiles. Okay. And then when I find someone that maybe they have a Bible verse in their subject, maybe they have something about the family in there, maybe they have something about how they love to travel, or, I get to know their personality, and then I follow them. And then I send the message and I say, I happen to land on your profile and I'm so glad I did. Right. And it's truthful. I don't even know how I stumbled on your profile, because at that point, I don't. Do you guys know how many people you go through sometimes, like from the big wig to the normal person and scrolling through? Like at that point, I'm like, did I even search makeup artist, entrepreneur? I don't even remember what I was searching, like truthfully. And this is what I do, like late at night or first thing in the morning sometimes. But then I say to them, I happen to stumble on your profile, or, I don't even know how I came across your profile, but I'm so glad I did. And I tell them the things I liked. I absolutely love your quote about gratitude. Oh my gosh, your family is absolutely stunning. Your blog on travel is incredible. Like you're giving out so much value. And then I will say something that brings it back to why I am reaching out to them and what I have, say I'm a business owner. I love to connect and collaborate with other successful women. Do you have a couple moments we could chat and exchange stories and see how we can support one another? I'm available later on tonight or first thing tomorrow morning. What works better for you? And I give them 2 times. So a lot of people just follow, and you're hoping that you follow them. They're going to follow you. They're going to see your story. They're going to ask for a cart link. Like, come on, right? Like that's not going to happen. You've got to have some skin in the game, but you're always adding people to the list. So now, when that person follows and we have the call again, sometimes they enroll right away. Sometimes you're at the point, they're at the point, and it happens magically. But a lot of times this is the long game, right? You cast the vision, they watch you, and along that time period, you have got to keep building that relationship. Like stay in touch with those people. Oh my gosh, I saw your vacation. How was it? When they ask questions, add support, respond to their stories, like take an interest, that it builds trust. So the first thing for homework tonight, you guys, when they're thinking about where to find people, I want you to join 3 new Facebook groups. I want you to follow 5 new people on Instagram, like true people that align with your avatar that you would love to have in your business from what you know, just from following their page. And the other thing I want you to do is I want you to find a networking meeting or a networking happy hour to attend. So people ask me all the time, like, where do you find this? And I have the opposite. I have like networking fatigue sometimes. I've got like too many. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like the 4th one today. And I know I'm in Denver and I'm in like a thriving city. But if you go to meetup.com and you type in mom's group, like, do you have any idea how many you're going to find? If you go to meetup.com and type in networking, women, like women meetup, entrepreneur, boss babe. I mean, you will find things everywhere. There are BNI groups everywhere, Business Networking International. Now, BNI is not my favorite. I'll be super transparent. They meet weekly. It's way too much. It's a high buy-in. It's a like transactional group. It's not always about authentic relationships, but you can go to any BNI chapter twice as a guest for free before they want you to join. If you go twice to all of the chapters in your area, I will tell you, you will have more leads than time of people to reach out to. So here's a stack of business cards from a place that I recently went. But I reach out to all of these people. Hey, Ann, oh my gosh, it was so nice to meet you at the Cherry Creek BNI meeting on Tuesday. I know we didn't have a ton of time to chat. I'm on the fence if I'm going to be joining, but I wanted to set up a time to chat to learn a little bit more about your business, your boutique, how I can refer people to you. And I'd love to have a chance to tell you what I'm up to. I have a feeling you know the exact type of person that I'm looking to connect with. I'd love to have a mutual beneficial chat. You know, can you hop on a Zoom with me later on this week, or maybe meet for a coffee? Tell me what's best for you. But it's like getting all these leads and then doing the follow-up, actually wanting to do it. Now, I will go into a meeting sometimes and there's 40 people in there and there's only a couple that I really think I want to talk to. But guess what? Those 2 or 3 were worth the drive. They were worth going there because those 1 or 2 people can be the next Jessica Rigner, right? They can be the next Erica. They can be the next Leah. Like, you have no idea what these people are doing and where they're at. But it's about being out there. And so I want you to also commit to going to one networking event, right? Sign up for it. I've been doing networking since I opened up my first business 20 years ago, right? Building those relationships. But here's what I'll tell you. People want to do business with people they know, like, and trust. I literally call myself the business matchmaker because I can constantly connect people. So I met with a woman today who's an event planner, who's like on my dream list, right? We went to coffee and we hung out for a little bit. And then she was talking about some things that she's struggling with in her business. And I knew right away who to introduce her with, okay? I left and I immediately connected her to somebody else. Like, my connection to whether or not she enrolls with me and what she does off the table was like, how can I help her? And the woman I introduced her to called me right afterwards, was like, oh my gosh, she's dynamite. She's gonna end up doing the display for our holiday party, blah, 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 blah. And the other woman called me back and was like, hey, I know I kind of brushed over the stuff with Isogenics, but I do want to actually learn a little bit more. And that came truthfully because regardless of whether she did Isogenics or not, I wanted to help her. And she knew that, right? There was a woman that recently I said, who are the 3 people you'd love to meet? Like 3 types of people. And I introduced her to all those people. Our next networking meet, this is something that meets monthly, they do shout outs. And she said, I just want to shout out Lauren because she introduced me to all 3 of the people that I'm looking to do. Like, you should have a one-to-one with her because she'll connect you to a lot of people. That builds trust, that they know that I'm willing to help and I'm willing to give to other people. That's how you get referrals. When you then say, hey, I'm looking to meet a hairdresser. Is there someone you can put me in touch with? I don't want to do cold market reach outs. It would mean the world if you could introduce me to someone, right? And you can go and ask for that. And I'll say, hey, I'm looking to meet an esthetician. Would you be willing to introduce me to the place that you get a facial from? You know, it would just make the world to me to be able to have the introduction so that they don't think that I'm like a cold sales like call or something like that. People will do that for you, but you've got to build those relationships. And the last thing I just want to kind of tell you about this is there's a time and place to lead with the product, and there's a time and place to lead with the opportunity. And the more that you perfect both, the faster your business is going to grow and the retention in your business is going to grow. Not everybody wants to do this business, you guys. And you've heard me say this over and over. Like, I love what I do. But if Ryan begged me to go to work with him every day, babe, you'd be so good at what I did. You should come with me, right? Oh my God, babe, you'd be amazing. We would be this powerhouse team. Like, I'd punch him in the face probably twice, right? I'm like, why in the world would I want to go do that? And I don't want to sit in a cubicle and I don't want to sit and do that. Like, that's not my jam. But rightfully so, he doesn't want to do what I want to do. He doesn't want to post. He doesn't want to be on social media. He likes structured hours. Like, this is not for him. And sometimes we put so much pressure on our friends or our family or our customers to want to do this for them that it's worth it to go find the people who are just ready. They're going to come out of the gates and blazing because they're excited about it and they align with it, and allow other people to just be great customers, you know? So I keep thinking about, it was a call and it was so simple, but it was like, who do we know that has skin and eats food? And that's everybody. And allow people to be natural customers, right? Allow those people to order 100 BB every single month and tell a few people. But when you're making your list and you're starting to talk to people, you know, we never know which customer is going to have an amazing product experience and go tell 200 people, right? And we never know which business builder is going to promise to do everything and go executive and max out the comp plan that doesn't do anything, right? Like, we don't have a crystal ball. We've all been excited about people and they've disappointed us, and we've been surprised by people, you know, people you would have least expect. You're like, wow, if that person can do it, like, we don't know. But I want you to just stay excited and enthusiastic about both. And stop judging and start listening. If you ask questions and you truly get to know people, they will tell you what they need. They will tell you, but you've got to ask them. And whether it's online or it's offline, starting to ask questions like, do you love what you're doing? Do you get excited in the morning? Like, are you fulfilled? Is this what you want to be doing in 5 to 10 years? If you could do anything in the world, what would you be doing? Insane. I was unbelievably skeptical. I never thought that this could happen. But I've watched my friend Jessica, I've watched my friend Brandy, I've watched my friend Laura, and I know it's possible. I would love to chat with you. I really think that you could crush this. When people are telling you they love their job, they're so passionate, they would never want to do anything else, then celebrate that and say, man, that's awesome. I wish more people truly, truly loved what they did every single day. And then you're back and you talk about the products. And you say, here's what I know. The most successful people don't minimize their health, right? The most successful people really put a lot of pride and value in their health. I want to show you about some revolutionary products. I would love to teach you about top shelf, world-class products that are going to keep you healthy, that you can keep fulfilling your passion every single day, vibrantly, with the most mental clarity that you could ever imagine. Would you be open to taking a look? And allowing these people who are thriving in their profession to be an incredible customer, right? To be able to be a walking billboard and to refer other people. So when you're thinking about connecting, I'm going to recap here for a second. First of all, where do you find them? When I think about my avatar, one of the very first things that I look for in someone is competitive. Right? Like, I want people that want to climb the leaderboard. I want people that want to be the first to go to Tulum. I want people that care about their cycles. They care about walking across the stage, and recognition is important to them. So if I think about where I'm going to find those types of people, one of the areas I love is the gym environment, right? Everyone knows I love to work out, but I think about places like Orange Theory Fitness, Cycle Bar, Barry's Boot Camp, like where they track your results because those people are competitive. We are like-minded already. If building with someone who is faith-minded, and faith-filled, and that is something that guides them at the forefront of every decision, get yourself into a new Bible study. It's not to say that you shouldn't be in the one you're in now. Go find a new one. There's a whole group of people there. Go to a different church, join different online churches, right? They have Facebook groups for them, and build relationships that are genuine, that you can get excited about. So there's people everywhere, but you've got to figure out who it is that you're looking for and say, where do they hang out? Where do I hang out? Like where is it that I would go find me? I was messaging in my group chat, this same conversation last week. I was so excited. You guys, I love to shop. Like, probably more than I should, And then I think, okay, well, the people that I want to build with probably also want to be able to shop in the middle of the day. So it's like a little bit of a catch-22 for me to throw myself into retail therapy because it gets to be an expensive, recruiting tool. But I've also met really great people, both that work in the industry and are there shopping, because that is something that is fun for me and I connect with them. And I think like those are the yellows. That's the energy that we need on this team. And so there is an abundance of people out there. But if you are sitting, putting up the same posts that you've done for 4 years, messaging the same people for the 100th time, pumpkin spice is out. Hey, we've got free shipping this week. Hey, just now we're going to do another 7-day. And these people are like, oh my gosh, if this person messages me one more time, start over. Just like a brand new list today. Make a brand new list of 100 people, start recruiting them, start adding these people. Say, if I follow 5 new people on Instagram for the month, right? What's 5 times 30? And then say, this is my new list. This is my new people to be reaching out to and following up with, and, getting them to come to Dallas with me and my new class that's going executive. There's so many people out there, but just be willing to take the time. Okay. Like, be willing to take the time. You guys, you've heard me say this before, but if Ryan, the day that we met, if someone had told me that would be my husband, right? Like, I mean, I friend zoned him hard. And if he was sitting here, he would laugh and say, that's exactly how it was. And it was a long time before I really paid attention to him, because I wasn't used to a nice guy. I was totally used to like XYZ, but his consistency and how he showed up, his genuine like interest in me that wasn't like ulterior motive, his kind heart, like got me to pay attention. And I know that our business is much different than dating, but to some extent it's very similar. It takes time to build a relationship. It takes time to build trust. It takes time for people to know you outside of just recruiting, right? Like, we've all gotten the, like, did you just reach out to me so you could sell me your products? like, I hate when I get that, right? Because I'm like, gosh, they just don't see what I see for them. But if you take the time, you're willing to pick up a kid from school when someone's asking for help, you're willing to drive across, the town and give them a sample, you're willing to, whatever that is, that they go, oh my gosh, she's in it for like the real deal. Then when you try to run them to the moon, they go, she's committed, like she's gonna lock arms with me. Okay. So just really, really trust that process. So as promised, I wanted to tell you my 3 little simple steps to getting into your comfort zone. So Laura's heard this a lot of times. It's my keynote about how your back against the wall is the key. Like your comfort zone is the key to untapped success. But I was playing with this the other day and I just thought, you know what, I'm going to bring it up on the team call because I think it's really true for all of us. And there are some businesses in growth right now, and that's amazing. I'm watching you climb Fiji. I'm watching you climb the top 100, top 200. And then I know there's some people that are a little bit stagnant. Okay. And I was on the phone with someone earlier today who's a rock star in our team. And I said, you know what? Everybody has highs and lows. Every single one of us. There's times you're freaking thriving. You feel like you're popping consultants like popcorn. People are enrolling like effortlessly. And then there's times it is a wall kicking moment, right? Like you are beating your head against the wall. It's like, gosh, is anybody getting back to me? Like I felt like 3 returns just went through and I haven't sent a new cart link out, right? We've all been there. It happens to all of us and it will continue to happen with all of us. It's the same as our health. Lose 3 pounds, gain 2 pounds, lose 4 pounds, gain a pound, right? I mean, like this is the way that life goes. But I think when you bring the joy back, right? When you're willing to just kind of like recommit to making it be messy, and do something different so you can get something different, we're going to have some different results. And so the first simple step to getting into your discomfort is to be productive and not destructive. And so in my talk, I talk a lot about this being self-care and self-love instead of self-sabotage. But let's look at your business for a minute, okay? Sunday afternoon, you haven't enrolled anybody, right? And you're like, okay, like I've only got 4 weeks left for Tulum and I still need 6 enrollments left. And you're a little bummed out about it. But like I posted, I did a story, I got on the virtual event, like no one's enrolling with me. And let's take the self-destructive path, okay? This business isn't for me. This is never going to work. I should probably go to brunch and I should do some Sunday funding, right? And then when I come home, I'm like, okay, no one's still posted. So I should probably meal prep and I should probably do some laundry and I'll sit down and watch a show and I'll scroll Instagram and I'll get lost in TikTok. And then I will, respond to some different text messages and I'll do some emails that are going to keep me busy. So I feel like I'm doing something, but I'm not really productive. And then on Monday morning, you're going to wake up without that enrollment and you're going to validate that story and the cycle continues. Okay. Let's take the different approach. Let's talk about being productive. And you say, all right, game on. Power move, right? Pump myself up and you start telling yourself affirmations, right? I'm an amazing leader. People enroll with ease. It is so fun. Everywhere I go, people are drawn into me. People can't wait to get a hold of these products. People cannot wait to say yes. I'm enrolling 3 people today. And you start texting people, by the way, I'm going to enroll 3 people today, and you're running around town. And if you go to brunch, you're talking to the waitress and you're talking to the people at the table and you're talking to the Uber and you're talking to the people at the host stand and you're like buzzing around and you're excited and you draw them in. And it's like while you're sitting there without even thinking about it, IsoLife is like, so-and-so just completed their cart. And you're like, oh, look at that. I sent that out on Tuesday. I went to brunch. And that's the epitome of like doing life by your design. But it's about getting your energy up. It's about doing the affirmations, it's about putting your butt in the chair and sending those 50 messages sometimes. It's about doing the voice memo, right? Oh my gosh, Tanya, it was so fun to connect with you earlier on this week. I know we chatted briefly about the collagen. I just wanted to circle back to you. I know you're going to love this product. I've got a deal. It ends tonight, right? I have a limited time special. I'm only telling a couple people about it. I want you to get your hands on this product. I want you to grab the savings. Let me know right away if you want to take this deal. I'll get you your cart. You'll get a deeper discount than ever before. As always, everything's 100% money back guaranteed. Imagine your follow-ups like that. Imagine your reach outs like that. Imagine instead of going to freaking brunch and doing all the Sunday funding, you go to the gym, you get a great workout, you feel excited, you reach out to your accountability partner and say, give me some ideas, get me fired up. Like, tell me I can do this, believe in me a little bit. And what starts to happen Okay, so when you're thinking about this, and whether it has to do with enrollments, it has to do with winning a trip, it has to do with your cycle growth, think about that. Are the decisions you're making destructive or productive? Just ask yourself right before you do something, is this getting me closer to or further than where I want to be? Is this helping me or hurting me? Is this helping my business or sabotaging my business? You know the answer. You don't have to reach out to your upline or crossline or anybody else, and redirect. The second, you guys, is it's rewriting the story. It's rewriting the mindset at any given time. So let's say you had hit executive and you fell out of executive, right? It's happened to a lot of people. Okay. You hit executive, you fell out of it, and you start, I'm never going to be able to be executive again, right? This is never going to happen. This is so hard. I'm never going to be able to create 10 consultants again. I'm out of the pools. It was great while it lasted. And all of that noise starts to come up. Guess what you are going to see over and over and over. But if you start to say, you know what? I went executive once, I can do it again and faster. Watch me. I'm more skilled. I'm more seasoned. I know exactly what to do. I'm looking for 10 friends that all know 2 people with skin and eat. I can do this, right? And you get excited about that. Katie Flanagan, back to executive. Way to go, girl. If you start telling yourself, I just read in the chat, I didn't know that. That's awesome. I love that. If you start thinking about, I am never going to be able to recruit like somebody. I'm never going to be able to attract in that network marketer, right? My cycles are always going to be at 1 star. Like, okay, that's what you're going to see. But if you say, you know what? One of my favorite things I learned from Gina DeVee's book, you guys, Audacity to be Queen, is that if someone can do it, instead of having jealousy or envy, you thank them for showing you what's possible. You guys, mine and Jessica's businesses were like this, until last year. And then it was like, whoa, what happened? Okay. And it's amazing. It's amazing. Do you know how many times when I journal in the morning, I am so thankful and grateful for Jessica Rigner, who has shown me what is possible. That has shown me that you can go from 100 cycles to 250 cycles. That has paved the way. That is like someone I know and I've watched it happen, right? Like that's the story. That's like the re-outlining whatever it is. And so when you start to tell yourself, oh, I'm never going to be able to meet a networker, you're like, I am 1 enrollment away from the next Susan Fly. You're buzzing around like those people have already come in. I'm checking out of the grocery store, imagining, right? Holly Kirsch and Ann White and rolling all over again, like finding that dynamic duo, imagine that buzz and your energy, and you're excited about it. So when you talk to people, they don't even know what you're excited about. They just want to be a part of it. And that story is so powerful. The noise that you are keeping to yourself and on replay is showing up in everything you do. You might have a great post, but the energy around it, because you wrote it with the energy around it. You might be reaching out to people already thinking they're going to tell you it's too expensive, right? Isn't an MLM? Like, do I have to be on auto ship? And that's what you're going to get, right? When you're so freaking excited about this and what you get to do for people, you're recruiting, picturing them walking across stage. You're, recruiting, thinking about what their family is going to look like in a year, right? How many lives they're going to change, what their income is going to look like. People are not asking you about the price because they are so bought into what you see possible for them. And the third is being able to play in the discomfort zone, okay? And truly being able to say, I get to do this. I don't have to do this. So I believe wholeheartedly in how you do one thing is how you do everything. Okay. So like back to the bonus girl conversations, when she starts to like cut corners on things, I'm like, I was like, because if you're going to do this half-ass, you're going to start to do other things. And being someone who does the extra 1%, someone who goes the extra mile, that shows up in a lot of places. So when I think about getting in the discomfort zone, doing things that are going to change me, they're going to challenge me, you're building resistance, right? You're building a mindset. You're building this steeliness that no matter what comes up, you're like, I've got this. That's where the grit comes from. Okay. No one just woke up one day and was like that. Right? Like if you look at athletes, like that's trained. If you look at people who are very successful, they're very disciplined. And so anybody who knows me, right? I would prefer to work out indoors. I don't like to get dirty. I don't like dirt. I'm not an outdoorsy person. I know I live in Colorado, but when people ask me to do things like go hike, I'm like, okay. And I don't really want to go, but I think like this gets me out of my comfort zone. I'm going to get some vitamin D. It'll be different. It's going to be a great post. And I meet amazing people all the time, right? Or because it was something that I didn't really want to do, but I did it anyways. It like reminds myself, okay, I can do hard things. I can do difficult things. And that might not be that hard for some other people. But think about what it is. You know, just on Thursday night, I had been down in Colorado Springs in the morning. I actually spoke at this event and I came home. It was a 2-hour drive. Okay. Did all this stuff, and there was a networking event that night. It was from 6 to 9 at night. I left at 6 a.m. to get to this thing at 8 a.m. Right? I was tired. Like I was literally looking at my husband. I was like, I do not want to go to that thing tonight. But in my head, I'm like, I know I need to go. Like this is an amazing group of women. This is like the people. Like this is like the part I have to do, so I don't have to set an alarm on Monday. That I don't ever have to go back to a job. But I'm literally pumping myself up. And then I'm like, what do I say, Lauren, all the time? And I'm like, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. I'm invited to a room of powerhouse women that I align with, that I'm going to learn from, that I get to share this amazing system with, right? That I get to invite to all of my events. Like I get to do this. And just the decision, just the mindset around it. So yeah, was it great to drive again an hour back into the city? You know, was it great to not have dinner with my family? No. Was that a sacrifice that I was so happy I made as soon as I was in there? And anyone that saw my stories, that I was like, hot diggity damn, like this is why I'm here right now. And I was so excited for it. And so this shows up in small ways and it shows up in big ways, you guys. It's about being disciplined. It's about doing the things that are going to grow you. Do you know how many times I want to listen to music and I'm like, I got to listen to my podcast? I'm thankful for the accountability. Leah and Jenny Thompson and Laura and Chris and I have been in this group forever, right? But I'm like, know if I don't listen to it today. Like it happened today. And I was like, I really just want to listen to like Kane Brown or something and shower and get ready. And I put on the podcast and it was amazing, right? It was uncomfortable to like want to do it. I didn't want to. I wanted to listen to the music, but I was messaging Jessica why she's flying to Arizona. I'm telling her the story and I was like, oh my God, you're like my Gideon and all this and that. You got me out of the shade. She probably thought I was like a crazy person, like having no idea what I'm talking about. And I'm like spitting this like Bible story back to her. But it was like, those are the things that show up. So I'm not surprised when I have enrollments. I'm not surprised when the business is flourishing, because I look back and I say, okay, in the last 30 days, did I get out of my comfort zone? In the last 30 days, did I do things that were disciplined? In the last 30 days, did I decide to go out and meet new people instead of like working with all the same people that I always work with? Okay. So if you guys are recapping your homework, and I know I'm all about action, you guys know I don't want to just rev you up and then you go to bed. Like I want you to actually go do something. Okay. It was to join 3 Facebook groups, follow 5 new people on Instagram. I mean, I would make that a habit, but like tonight, just go do that. Okay. Join a new networking group, attend a meeting. You can go free, you know what I mean, to so many. Just go as a guest free. But when I think about my 3 steps to getting uncomfortable, the productive versus destructive, just like put yourself in check for that. You know where the self-sabotage is happening. With that story and that mindset, you guys, the pen to paper is huge. If you look at anybody on our teams that's in the top 100 going to Fiji right now, and I can say this confidently, but if you guys know that I'm speaking the truth, put a 1 in the chat. We write out pen to paper every day, our intentions, our gratitude. It is literally training our minds. What we think about, we bring about. What we focus on, we find. Like that is not always great to do. I mean, I've woken up and I've got fires left and right, and people have responded to all these messages, and I'm like, I'm not doing that until my mindset is right. Okay. If you are one of those people that, I mean, you're writing your intentions, your gratitude, you're doing your devotion in the morning, seriously put a 1 in the chat, because that is what is so important with changing that story in your mind. And then the third part, and this is your last little bit of the homework, is I want you to play with it. Like if you go to yoga all the time, yoga is your jam, yoga and Pilates, and going to a spin class is going to get you out of your uncomfort zone, do it. Sign up for a class, go to a new gym, because you putting yourself in that arena of discomfort opens up space for you to meet someone else. And it tells the universe, right? If she's willing to do hard things, I can give her hard things, right? If she's willing to do new things, I can give her new things. So it can start small, right? If you drive the same way every day and you go to the same coffee shop because it's convenient, go a different route, go into a different one. You by chance will stand next to somebody amazing, not by chance, by purpose, right? That will not be a coincidence. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I went to this new coffee shop and I met the next Adrian McGovern, right? Like you just don't know, but it's saying, okay, I'm going to go do something different. I'm going to dress differently today. I'm going to go to a new coffee shop. I'm going to go to a new networking event. I'm going to go to a new spin class. I'm going to join a new group. It's something, but with the mindset, I get to do this. No, you guys don't have to do this. right? We lead an army of volunteers and you all signed up to be the own CEO of your business. You do not have to do this. You get to do it. And when you just adopt that, it changes. And I promise you guys, if you start taking these principles in, you'll see your business 10x. You'll see your business 10x with enrollments. You'll see it 10x with the people that you come in, and it will 10x the joy you have around it. That it is something that just makes you sparkle and jazz, and the people around you sparkle and jazz because you're bringing out the best in them. So I am so grateful for every single one of you. I am so excited to see so many people in Tulum. I know that we've got a ton of people just absolutely on the horizon of finishing it. A lot of people that have already completed it. You guys are incredible. We'll get the recording out as soon as possible, and we'll see you next week. That's the role play call with me and Jess. So I will tell you, if you've ever been curious what Jess does with a networker and how she shows the compensation plan, do not miss next week's call. Have a great night, you guys. Love you all. Bye.